Split faces mode is a great way to make exploded views of single objects. It also allows you to make crazy glitchy art, and yeah, it's a great way to add some randomness to your scenes. So right now I'm adding this Suzanne to a collection and loading that collection up in Blender Exploder Tool, or else it won't work. Just pick a layer and select a collection like so. And then navigate to the Split Faces section, which, of course, first you have to activate by this checkbox, and you see some faces of the mesh get exploded, but not everything. So let's just, for now, turn off this filter right here so that everything gets exploded equally in all directions, and now it doesn't. So let's put that on the x-axis, for example, so you can see the Suzanne exploding on the x-axis here. It also does the same on the y-axis, and of course the z-axis as well, up and down. So yeah, great way to do this to a single mesh. Now you can filter this selection as well by sliding. Now you can filter this selection as well. Right now it's only exploding normals that are pointing downwards. You can invert this and everything that's pointing up gets exploded in that way. Okay, so how does this work? You basically pick a vector direction on the right here, and then you use the filter slider to decide how much of that vector, normal direction gets exploded. So the way it works is that your normals are pointing in a certain direction. In this case, I want all the normals that point upward to explode, like so. And you can also easily invert it by sliding the +1 down to -1. Same goes for the other axis, so the y-axis, you can also explode in that direction, invert it as well. And of course, the same goes for the x-axis, which you can invert by either changing the +1 or -1 in the vector position or in the vector input, and you can invert it as well and use the slider to decide how much of these normals get exploded. Okay, now let's put that back for a second and focus on this section. You can scale the faces as well. You need to have split faces checked to do this. So you can scale them in the y-axis as well as z. And of course, scale all the faces uniformly. So scale them from 0 to 1 or even above that and get crazy stuff like this. But probably going from 0 to 1 is what you're going to use most. You can also rotate all the faces along the x-axis. Same goes for y and z as well. And there's this other feature that allows you to use animated noise like this. You have to place spacebar. You have to have the project time needs to be running, of course. You need to press play for the animated noise to work. Another way to add some randomness, add some craziness to your exploded views. You can change the noise size and the scale or the amount of influence. To make it wobble like this, should you want to do that. This of course looks pretty crazy with exploded faces, which I'll do later on. Let me see if I can show you something. So there's also here, there's a filter by normal section, which responds to the filter by normal section here, and it also influences if the animated noise is influencing these exploded faces or not. So now we're exploding some faces a bit outward to get a really crazy glitchy look. You see some faces popping. This is because of the normal direction they explode or not, and if the normal direction is changing because of the noise which is displacing everything, then of course the faces explode or not depending on the direction of that normal. And finally we also have this section here. Let me just zero these out and show what's happening. So keep an eye on these corners here, the vertices. These are being moved by the noise, but if you check this option, the vertices aren't being moved, but the center of the face is being moved. So the face itself isn't changing shape, it's just changing position now. So just a little extra option for you to change the look of this exploded noise effect. You can of course explode the faces to your taste, which can become really crazy if you want, or you can keep it subtle, or you don't explode faces at all if you need more realism. It's just optional, but yeah, pretty cool, pretty easy to set up. It works on the entire collection as well, so don't feel constrained to using a single mesh like this Suzanne. You can do it on a very complex model with thousands of meshes. Just be careful because any option that is of course labeled CPU heavy is heavy for your computer. So yeah, be careful with that. That's it, split faces. You can get it right now at Blender Market, but it will also be available at ArtStation and my own website later on. Check the description for Blender Exploder tool. You'll see some links. Thank you.